Listen up, ladies and gentlemen.
This is Boom Radio.
All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Solarogers.
And my name is yemisaka.
All right, together we will take you on a 30-minute ride through the world of politics. That's what we do right here on Political Voyage. It is a voyage through, the murky, sometimes dark, but at times pristine waters of politics. I said that, yes, you can quote me. And talking about quotes, we have the quote of the day coming up later. We also have this day in politics coming up later. We'll be reflecting on the top political stories out of Nigeria over the weekend, and of course today. There's still always talks of defections here and there. There's news.
Are you defecting to my camp?
I am not even sure of which camp you're in. So if you tell me about your camp and if it sounds attractive, these days I don't mind. Everybody's defecting.
My camp is Patriotic Nigerian Front.
Okay, so are you presenting the presidential candidate?
No, we are weighing the presidential candidates, and we'll decide.
Okay.
And by the time we decide, we are align and work.
So let me ask that question. You guys have the structure?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. You have the physical structure?
Yes, we do.
Not just...
No, we have a physical structure. You are a structure. You're one of us. You're a structure.
Oh, I'm already one of you.
Yeah, the choice.
I didn't even know. Apparently, I don't have a choice.
But it's nice to be here. It's been a weekend of let's say a week of intense beautiful, fantastic politicking. Back and forth from politicians. Sound bites. We need to sound bites for us to discuss and talk. Dwell upon. So, shall I?
Of course. So talking about the week and everything that's happening in Nigerian politics, let us start by an headline that is in at the moment. It's on a couple of platforms, but I'm taking a look at Politics Nigeria, and they're saying that the National Assembly insists on impeaching President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yeah, I got a bit of education from a lawyer that said impeachment is the American thing, but what we have in Nigeria is removal from office. And coincidentally, 6 years ago, or 5-6 years ago, I came up with a post on Facebook about impeachment. I think when I get back home, I'm going to touch it so the post can come up. I think there's a need for the Senate to remove Ahmed Lawan, because there are some constitutional provisions that says that once a notice of impeachment has been served, brought to the floor of the Senate, either verbally or written, they must constitute a 14-man panel to look into that petition. Ahmed Lawan did not do that. What Ahmed Lawan did was to go on, declare the Senate was going on with sex for 6 weeks. And it's obvious that Ahmed Lawan would not want that process of removal of President Muhammadu from office to kickstart. So for them, if they're serious about it, the first enemy of the people that must be removed from office is Ahmed Lawan.
Is the Senate president?
Yes, the guy has shown, he has done enough, has been a rubber stamp Senate president. And I will say this, and I said it with all conviction. This is a Senate president that approved a loan that was rejected by the 8th Assembly of $22.6 or $22.8 billion for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I'm bold to say that loan was not for the whole country, because till we speak, maybe except for the NTA project that will probably be executed in Southeast, there is no dedicated project of a value of 1 cent to Southeast region in that loan request. It has been approved. So we over time, Ahmed Lawan we look at how they went back and forth on the Electoral Act. Look at how he didn't have the muscle, and he didn't demonstrate the right or the leadership to summon Mr. President as the head of the head of the command, control, and communication structure of the armed forces. Didn't have the nerve to summon the NNPC and the President Muhammadu Buhari as the Minister of Petroleum about the fraudulent subsidy regime we're witnessing, how a proposal for subsidy on PMS would jump from 200 billion to 400 billion to 1.3 billion to 2.37 billion, now to 4.3 billion. Now we are now looking at 4.3 trillion, sorry. We are not, because it started from 200 billion to 400 and something trillion, 400 and something billion. Then jump, now we are now talking of 6.7 or 6.4 to 6.7 trillion naira on subsidy. So if Nigeria wants to get good leadership, or they still want to make you think they can still get something good out of 7 months, so they should remove Ahmed Lawan.
So let's take a look at this thing. If you're just joining us, this is Political Voyage. Yemisaka and I, solarogers, we are walking you through political issues, and there's talk of impeaching the president of Nigeria or removing the president by the Senate and the lower house. Of course, it is being championed by the opposition, but Yemi is of the opinion that before impeaching the president, the Senate president has to go. He seems to be the one blocking this move. You feel it's a popular move to impeach the president?
No, I think if they remove President Muhammadu Buhari today from office, even in Daura, his hometown, there will be wide jubilation.
So you feel it is a popular move?
It is a popular move.
That's exactly what I want to hear. Now, what is the process?
But even in Aso Rock, people will jubilate.
Okay. So what is the process of impeachment, and what does the law say about it, and how feasible is it?
Yeah.
And what are the effects of impeachment? For instance, you remove Buhari, who is the next person?
Yeah, if they remove Buhari, the next person that should go maybe to take over is Osinbajo. That is if both of them are not swept out of office.
How?
They can remove.
You're going to impeach the president and vice president at the same time?
We've seen it before now.
Where?
Didn't they remove the governor and deputy governor?
Where?
And the speaker? Ekiti.
No, we're talking about presidential.
It's the same template.
It's not the same.
No, comment is the same.
But for educators,
no, it's the same template because
you're the expert.
Because I'm not really the expert here, but if it's like
in this room at the moment, you are the expert.
God will forgive you, Shala. Now, the bottom line is this. I said something. I think we discussed it last week when we were talking when this issue of plant test or not plant test or one is indigo, blah blah blah. I believe for political calculation and what have you, they might want to do that. Because of, want to put into consideration our peculiarity, which some people have lined that doesn't exist. Because if they should remove a Muhammad, like it or not, some people will start saying they didn't allow a northerner as a Muslim to complete his 8 years in office. So there might be need for them to remove both the president and the vice president. Because if they remove the president, the person that will be there for another 8 years, or for the many of the for 7 months or thereabout will be Osinbajo. He's a Christian and he's a South.
But you're of the opinion that the both should be impeached.
So for them to balance that peculiarity and put into consideration, they might just both be eased out of office. And who's the person to take over from them?
Constitutionally, who is next?
Ahmed Lawan.
But you would have had him removed before then.
Yes, because even if you are going to let somebody benefit from this process, it shouldn't be Ahmed Lawan.
Okay.
Because he hasn't demonstrated enough.
So how feasible, as in, it's not enough for people to say it. A lot of people like to talk, but we need to be real now.
Yeah, they need to gather the right.
How feasible is it for the Senate to impeach the Senate president as a precursor to impeaching the president and the vice president?
Yeah, if the Senate can, if they come
as constituted now,
if they reconvene and they believe that there's a need for them to remove the Senate president.
You're basically talking about APC members impeaching their own candidates.
Yeah, but it probably knows that it's going to be another APC person will take over, and they probably have.
So who will it be?
Obviously, there's going to be an Ali Ndume.
Okay, what is his current role now?
He's the chairman of Senate Committee on Army.
But and
it's an APC.
What does the Constitution say about what you just said now? I don't get it. So what you're saying now is that impeach. It's sounding like a.
It's not a straightforward. It's not like
it's sounding like a joke to me.
Okay.
Impeach Ahmed Lawan, then put Ali Ndume there.
Yeah.
Then get Ali Ndume and the other senators who are left there to impeach Buhari and Osinbajo.
No, they might
then
not.
Ali Ndume becomes president.
They might not impeach Osinbajo. I'm just saying if they want to, if they want to go the whole up to just balance the peculiarity. But for me, the person, because it's this, the Senate among themselves determine who become the principal officers. Among themselves, among themselves, if they elect, they want to remove Ahmed Lawan. Let me put this: if they elect to remove the fantastically inept Ahmed Lawan, They can do that, and they can bring another person. If you want to replicate, or if you want to rely on what you've had at the State of House of Assemblies across board, there's something called Speaker Pro Tempore or something. The guy just I don't see that they're going to have a substantive Senate President if they remove Ahmed Lawan, and that one comes in, and once there's a move on a notice of impeachment, it constitutes the panel. They submit its report. They give the president the enough room to come as required by law to answer to those allegations of gross misconduct and abuse of office or breach of office. Because President Muhammadu Buhari, I can sit down here, I can give you without blinking, without thinking, I can tell you 2-3 things that he has done
that are impeachable offenses.
Yes, and it's a breach of the section 80 of the Constitution.
Do you want to mention this one?
Yes, I'm going to mention the section 80 subsection 4 of the Nigerian Constitution as amended, which deals with public revenue. President Muhammadu Buhari went to Afghanistan and donated $1 million to the Taliban-led government in Afghanistan. That was not captured in our budget, because every spending must come within and outside the budget. That is one. Secondly, the procurement of SUVs for the government officials in the Nigeria Republic. That one too is impeachable because I doubt if such spending was captured by the budget, what we call appropriation act. Now, we can want to go like with gross misconduct. Enough, we could cite the insecurity as abuse of office and gross misconduct. Its responses, its utterances, so that we don't need to see that. In fact,
there's no smoking gun in anything you have talked about, Yemi. No smoking gun.
You see, if it's an infraction of the Constitution, a section of it is enough to impeach the president.
No, but there's no smoking gun in anything.
No, it doesn't have to be a smoking gun. Is it an infraction of the Constitution? Yes. And section 14 subsection 2 says the primary role of the government is to seek to the security and welfare of the citizens. That has not been provided by the president, and it's sought to uphold the Constitution.
It is debatable if you say it hasn't been provided, because they will show you.
What will they show you?
They will show you.
What will they show you? I'm waiting.
Yemi,
I want you to show me what
they will show you.
What that will show me?
What they have done and what they are doing. Now it is now up to who to decide if what they have done is.
Do you know the beauty of it? Do you know the beauty of it? It is not for President Muhammadu Buhari to decide or determine if he has heard. It is for the National Assembly. National Assembly has the prerogative to define or classify what they will determine as gross misconduct and what have you.
And what do you determine as gross misconduct?
It depends on what they want to decide.
No, you said you have several.
No, I said
you talked about the procurement for.
Even the procurement of Tucano
for Nigeria.
Even the procurement of Tucano jet for Nigeria was an impeachable offense. And I sat down there and listened to how Festus Keyamo then, a lot of times a friend of mine said, we now know that it was just to yield them the law when they buy you a bottle of anything. Koti Bashir Ahmed, my friend. But you see, for me, even that was an impeachable offense. It doesn't have to be now. You can gather as much as. Because let me tell you,
the procurement of the Tucanos did not go through due process.
It did not, because it wasn't capturing the budget. And Festus Keyamo came out and said it was a doctrine of necessity. And the Tucano jets were not delivered until 2022, and I paid for it in 2017. I said it was doctrine of necessity because you needed it urgently.
Yeah, but you know that it takes time for those things to be manufactured.
Crying out loud, Shola, you and I know that.
You don't buy them off the market.
Shola, you and I know that, and some of us, I've even spoken to some defense contractors. We don't need it to Tucano jets. It's not even about if we needed it or didn't need it. Did you follow due process in acquiring it? No. The abuse of process, was it an infraction of the Constitution? Yes. Now it is this: if a governor or a public office holder breaches just a line in any provision of the Constitution, it amounts to gross misconduct.
All right. So now let us go with that reasoning and say, now that there is a reason to impeach the president, because going through the Constitution, he definitely must have violated at least one line in the Constitution. How realistic is it to impeach.
No,
the president?
once they pass the motives of impeachment for him, I don't know. Sometimes
What's the process?
I think the process is once there's a move on impeachment and is a remover, and I think I probably will need to be, because I don't want to say that I want to be careful so I don't misinform listeners, audience out there. But I think once the national.
Do you also think, because since I don't want to over push you, you're my person, and I get that you need to be double sure.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so do you also think that the process of impeachment would be achievable in this short time?
Yes, if they want to, if they're serious.
Within now and 7 months.
It can be achieved in 1 month. It's just 14 days. It's then the constitution, and it doesn't respond to the impeachment notice. It's they have the deliberation, both as.
But you have said that as a precursor to that, as a prerequisite to the impeachment of President Buhari, that the Senate President should be impeached.
It can be removed in a day.
Okay, so we're looking at a scenario where when they reconvene at the House of Assembly now.
Yeah, National Assembly, the Senate.
As the House of Assembly. When I deliberately made it broad because there's the lower house too.
Yeah, that's why we call National Assembly.
Yeah. So when they reconvene there, you're expecting that the discussion will be front burner discussion. It will be the next thing on the agenda, that the Senate President has got to go.
For me, if I'm in the Senate, that will be my move.
But are you hearing of such from
Yeah.
people in the PDP and the other parties,
No, I
or
think-
even within the APC?
I think I read a report today. I don't know. I would send to get that said, if the president of the Senate is against it, they will have to remove him to go ahead with the impeachment and the process of removal of President Muhammadu Buhari. I read it somewhere today. I still need to confirm who said that. But for me,
do you think that the opposition can garner enough numbers to impeach the Senate President, then impeach the President and the Vice President?
I'm even telling you that if they want to impeach the Senate President, even these APC senators will support them. They are tired of that guy. And they want to remove President Muhammadu Buhari. Even the senator from his state.
How are you sure that they are tired of Ahmed Lawan?
And even the senator from his state will vote for his removal. If they remove President Muhammadu Buhari today from office, people in Daura, his village.
This is your opinion. This is just.
If people in Nassau
I mean, this is conjecture on your own part.
People in Nassau Rock.
You don't know this for a fact. You feel.
No, why some people might be, why some people will just like say no. So obviously we have his supporters now. But I'm telling you that you'll be sure that people that would jubilate and celebrate, even in his home state, would jubilate.
Okay, so I'm still open. I wish that you had thought it through, so that we can walk people through the reality.
No, because I think
this call for impeachment.
I think there was a time a lot of us were wrongly, I don't know, that if the said president is removed from office, it has to be ratified by all the states and House of Assemblies. And that's pure bull crap. It's a National Assembly. Once it starts there, it ends there. Once it stands removed, and that person is the CG of the country. CGN will swear, administer out of office for the person that takes over next in line, and we move on.
All right. You're still listening to Political Voyage right here on your Boom Radio NG. At the moment, we are discussing the talks by a couple of senators in the Nigerian Ninth Assembly, who are of the opinion that due to the security issues in Nigeria, that the president has to be impeached. And I'm trying to get the nitty-gritty, because a lot of people will just talk, we don't look at the details. Now let's even assume that you're saying security is the reason why you want it, because they're not saying any of these things that you are saying. They're saying that the way security is in Nigeria, the president can't handle it, so they want him out. Who becomes president, and what are the guarantees that that person will handle security in the space of 6 to 7 months?
Yeah, what that would guarantee is it tells the next person that he has to do his best, and it tells other successive presidents that yes, the people have the nerve. At some point, the National Assembly have the nerve to remove you from office, so you have to do what you have to do. You must be seen to be doing your best. I don't know, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I as a person would say that President Muhammadu Buhari has been deliberately incompetent in handling this issue. There's a deliberate incompetence on the part of Muhammadu Buhari as the president tackling the issue of insecurity. That is why he has to go.
No, okay, I'm not arguing with the why. You know, like you
Is it achievable? Time will tell.
how feasible
Is it feasible? Or is it?
there is a constitutional provision for it.
It doesn't.
And
I
sorry,
think- I think if you can, I don't know.
I'm going through a website now called lawpaddy.com,
Yeah.
where they are breaking down the impeachment process.
Fantastic.
And they said, step 1, a notice of any allegation in writing
yeah.
alleging gross misconduct on the part of the president. This notice must be signed by not less than 1/3 of the members of the National Assembly. That's why I was talking about
Yeah,
the House
that's
of
both.
Assembly.
Yeah, both the Senate and the House of Reps.
Okay. And it's presented to the Senate President. That
Yeah.
has not been done, Yemi.
No, that has not been done. Yeah,
Step 2,
because they're on recess.
Yemi, that has not been done.
Yeah.
There's no need to talk about whether I think we don't have time.
Abi?
Step 2, the Senate President must within 7 days serve the President and each member of the National Assembly with a copy of the notice of allegation.
Yeah.
Step 3, the Senate President must within 7 days, the President has the right of reply. He or she does not have to reply, however, and any such statement in reply to the allegation must be served on each member of the National Assembly. That is, if he replies.
Yeah.
Step 4, within 14 days of the presentation of the notice to the Senate President, each House of Assembly shall resolve by motion without any debate whether or not the allegation shall be investigated. This motion needs to be passed by at least 2/3 majority of all members of the House of Assembly.
That's the National Assembly now.
House of Assembly. I'm reading verbatim. That's why
House of Assembly.
yes.
Are they saying states?
Yemi, I'm reading verbatim.
No,
I will read step 4 again.
Yeah.
For clarity. Within 14 days of the presentation of the notice to the Senate President, each House of National Assembly, each House
That means the Senate and the
shall resolve by motion without any debate
okay,
whether
national. Okay. You're on the same
whether
page.
or not the allegation shall be investigated. This motion needs to be passed by at least
2/3.
2/3 of all members of each House of Assembly. That is the Senate and the House of Reps.
Yeah.
Step 5. If the motion fails to reach the required majority, the process immediately stops
Yeah.
and no further action will be taken. However, if the required majority is obtained and the motion is passed, then the Senate President will, within 7 days of the passing of the motion, request the Chief Justice of Nigeria to appoint a panel of 7 persons who, in his opinion, are of unquestionable integrity to investigate the allegations. The members of the panel cannot be members of any public service, legislative house, or political party. Step 6. The panel is to report its finding within 3 months.
Within doesn't necessarily have to
Within 3 months
be- it could be 1 week, it could be 90 days.
of being appointed, the findings will be reported to each House of Assembly during
Plenary.
proceedings of the panel.
Yeah.
The President shall have a right to defend himself and shall not have the right to be defended by a legal practitioner. And shall also have the right
Yeah.
to be defended by a legal practitioner of his or her own choice. Step 7. Where the panel reports that the allegation has not been proven,
Yeah.
there will be no further action.
Yeah.
However, if the report is that the allegation against the president has been proven, then the National Assembly will consider the report and a resolution for the adoption of the report shall be moved. Step 8. Excuse me, please. Step 8. For the resolution to be adopted, it must be supported by not less than 2/3 majority of all members of each house. Once adopted, the president shall stand removed from office from the date of the adoption of the report. Consequences of impeachment. upon the adoption of the report by 2/3 majority of the National Assembly, the president stands impeached and most immediately vacates the office of the president. I'm sure they wanted to write must. The office of the president shall pass to the incumbent vice president, and he will take oath of office. Once the resolution is adopted, there is no recourse to any court of law or judicial proceedings. The president cannot challenge the decision of the panel or the National Assembly. The president is normally entitled, upon vacation of office, to a pension for life at the rate equivalent to the annual salary of the incumbent president. He loses his pension for life upon impeachment.
Yeah.
Where the president is impeached and the office of the vice president is vacant at the time, then the president of the Senate shall hold the office of the president for a period of not more than 3 months.
90 days, yeah.
During which there shall be an election of a new president who shall hold office for the unexpired term of the office of the last holder of the office. Now there's a rider. Although once the impeachment resolution is passed, the impeachment cannot be normally challenged. However, recent court cases have established that the clear position of the law courts are empowered to determine the legality or otherwise of the process leading up to the removal of the elected official.
Yeah, so if there's an abuse of process.
In other words, though the impeachment can't be challenged in court, the process leading up can be challenged in court. Hear me? Again, I asked you, and I had to do this because it's our job to inform and let people know. It's not about if the president should be impeached or not. It's about what does the law say and how feasible, knowing that there's an election coming up, knowing that even with all the cross-carpeting, his party is still in the majority. And it is not enough for that. People, even if they're APC, they need to come out now and allow that to third majority
to be achieved.
So how feasible? Now I'm going to come after all of this again and ask you, Yemi, let's not play around. How feasible is an impeachment process? Then again, the idea of impeaching him and the vice president is not possible by law.
Yeah, that was what messed up the Ekiti removal.
It is not possible by law. By law, it is only if there was no vice president in place that the position goes to the Senate president, and we have a vice president in place.
Can I respond?
Please, sir.
If they want to be patriotic about it,
What is patriotism? I'm
coming. If they want to be patriotic about it, I don't think even all this process cannot be achieved if they want to achieve it. If they have the sincerity of purpose, I don't think it is unachievable. It is achievable. But like you said, there are some other peculiarities that will come to bear. We have to put this in consideration. Election is coming. Do you really need to rock the boat rather than just letting just finish and just do and go? That the argument is valid, and some people will come with the argument that don't let us eat up the polity unnecessarily. But if you want to look at what has been spelled out in the report, the committee doesn't need to said within 90 days. They can get their report within 24 hours, within 1 week, within a month. And if they want to do this, I can tell you in a month or two, an impeachment or a non-impeachment can be achieved. An impeachment can be achieved and an impeachment move can be abandoned. Or the process can even be exhausted if they want to. But you and I, we've sat down and told us, okay, fine, if yes, it is achievable, yes, it is workable, but would these people do it? It's up for them at the national standing to decide.
Again, let's be real. If we want to impeach Buhari because people want him out for whatever reason, and there's a way to get him out legally, which is through impeachment, I want us to start thinking that the excuse that is being given for an attempt at impeachment now is about insecurity. Who are you bringing in this 6 to 7 months that will do better than this guy?
Without making
because constitutionally it's Yemi Osinbajo.
Without making,
and he is a part of Buhari's government.
No, you know I stand on my namesake. Without mincing words and without being patronizing. We knew what we achieved with the 6 weeks election extension of the 2015 general elections by former President Goodluck Jonathan. Shola, I might not be a certified military expert, though I'm working towards such certification.
Amen.
But I'm telling you, trust me, as I sit down here as yemisaka or the yemisaka, your friend, I can end this war in 3 months.
I hope they listen to someone like you, because what we need is for it to end.
I was in Zamfara. I can see people, they want to get back to their lives. They just want their life back. And
Nigerians are tired. Even the people that are not in the war zones are tired. There's
I-
nobody that's benefiting from this war.
I
now.
can tell you this war is winnable and can end in 30 days. But to put every other things into consideration, in 3 months, I'm saying this, even if Muhammadu Buhari can step aside for 3 months and let me sit in charge and let me be in charge. Let's see what happens.
As who now?
As the interim commander in chief.
But you know that's never gonna happen, right? So that's not ever gonna happen.
But I think we dwelt so much on the impeachment. Any other news?
It's actually important that we tackle issues and just don't go with the crowd all the time, and that's what we've done. We're actually rounding up now. Yeah, we're done with the show.
No, but can we just talk about my state, my Ogun state?
Yeah, we gotta go.
We gotta go. Okay, a quick one for me.
So
let me just run through it today.
Yemi would say a few things about Ogun State, and then is going to give us the quote of the day. And this day in political history, and we're out. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for listening. But don't go anywhere. Yemi has a few things to say.
No, for Ogun State, it's just a sad one that Ibukunle Amosu, a man that turned
the former governor,
a man that turned Ogun State from what we knew to be gateway state to a state of abandoned project, had the nerve and thinks he has what it takes to criticize the current governor, Prince Abiodun. Yes, we desire a lot from the current governor. But that Amosu would not take 100 of what is given that Abiodun. He didn't take it while he was in office from any opposition figure, and that's the governor. Amosu should please stop this egocentrism. We don't need it in Ogun State. It's not about him. It's not about the love of the state. But back to that. That's my about Ogun State. My state. These days I want to get passionate about it because someday we never. Who knows? I'm retired to Ogun State. But for me, on this day in politics or in global politics or national or global stage, on this day 1974, Richard Nixon became the first and the only U.S. president to resign, while his subsequent pardon by George Ford technically ended the Watergate scandal. You remember the Watergate scandal? That popular phone call that brought about Nixon's administration to an end. And for the quotable quotes, I'm not quoting anybody. I'm just going to quote myself.
Okay, let's go.
I said, every time we reinforce failure by rewarding failed politicians and political and government with election and re-election, good governance suffer, Nigerians suffer. That's just it.
All right, that is a quote by the man himself, Yemi Osinbajo.
Why did they name that man?
Of course,
you should stick to his Oluleke.
Yeah, yemisaka, of course, has come up with that very deep one. We hope that you guys will go and reflect on these things. Political Voyage is weighing anchor now. We'll be back same time next week, and of course we'll continue to shed light on political issues and take you on this journey and give you different views, balanced and very, very, very broad, like we always do. God bless you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Those friends that joined in on my page, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. And of course, we like to let you know that at 2 o'clock we'll be having a legend in the building, Kunle Sholaja will be here.
Nice.
And I already put out a post describing him as a walking, talking encyclopedia of sports
football
in Nigeria, football in particular. So we'll be talking to the KS himself, king of sports, right here. Yomi Okpakule will be here, and he promises to be an interesting one. Please join us. God bless you guys. God guide you. God keep you. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, God willing.
Stay.